Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to Let's Play Siralim Ultimate. Our mission for today is straightforward. We take down every single god except for Tauren. So that means we have 8 of them to take down. 8 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I believe all of these fights are going to be identical. All of these fights are going to be easy. I don't think any of them is going to have anything that's going to complicate things, except for possibly if they have the wrong kind of creatures in their party, like, you know, the Pumpkin King. That always throws us off because of the stats being swapped around. But most of them are just gonna go like this. So I'm gonna do things not differently. I'm gonna do things the same as I did in the previous episode, where I'm just gonna go through all of these. I'm not gonna skip anything, because when it comes to these endgame boss fights, even if we've found, you know, the ultimate cheese tactic that helps us win instantly. Hey, already got a skin, nice. Even if we found the ultimate cheese tactic, it wouldn't feel right to skip any of this process. You know, if for no other reason, it needs to be documented exactly when and how I beat all of these guys. Just like with the, you know, the false gods. It needs to be shown, and, you know, the nether bosses as well. As I mentioned in the previous video, for some of the more grindy processes where, you know, technique doesn't really matter, like you're just grinding enemies at the candle. Hey, we've already got the plush as well, that's nice. For some of the really grindy things, like if I'm just... all I have to do is beat 100 realms as the deprived, and I'm doing it at low levels just to get it out of the way. For that, I will skip things, but for fights that are tied to achievements, I think you kind of have to show them. At least that's how I feel. And similar to the last episode, I'll be putting a timestamp somewhere in the description. If you want to just skip to the end and see all of the skins and achievements we unlocked, feel free to do that. Why did they resurrect? Anyway, let's not even worry about it. As I was saying, yeah, feel free to skip to the end. Because basically, we are gonna have about several hundred consecutive runs of us just doing this. Just going into battles, Fermented Hops casts, they die. And, you know, end of story. Occasionally, we have to manually cast it once ourselves, but that is how these battles are going to go. 8 of them, approximately 35 to 38 battles per god, assuming we don't lose any of them, which, you know, we don't want to. We would ideally prefer not to waste any of our keys, but assuming we don't lose any of them, it'll be about 300 of these, right? So that's how it's gonna go. And the one good thing is, last episode we managed to get it done in under or around 2.5 hours. We definitely got it done, like got the combat done before 2 hours and 30 minutes. We went on a little bit longer after that, just to show you all of the stuff that we had unlocked. And it's going to be even quicker for this, because last episode we also took care of the only ones that had minor issues to pose to us, such as 4080, who like 50% of the time your stuff just doesn't work. So it just, on average, you have to do everything twice as much as you normally would want to. So that was an irritating fight. Yeah, so that reflection, really annoying boss trait, but we got that done. And then there was Siralim, who starts out with the rebirth, and we had to use Dispel as a way of making sure that when we kill her, she doesn't come back and doesn't waste our time. So those two are done. I don't think any of the remaining gods have anything that's gonna give us any cause for concern. Yeah, let's just keep going. How long have we been going in this episode so far? Oh, 6 minutes. All right. This one, I think, is going to be significantly quicker, because we're not going to have to mess around with our spell gems or our macros or be kicking around in fights that are taking multiple turns because of enemy traits. No, this one's going to be straightforward. It's going to be basic. But it is going to suffer with the other problem that last episode had, is that when every single battle is the exact same, you eventually run out of things to say. And so last episode we addressed that problem by kind of just talking about whatever, just chilling, talking about the series in general, talking about life, talking about the world. One thing that occurs to me, so briefly I talked about the state of the world and how, things look bleak, but how I was optimistic that things would get better. It occurs to me that I'm recording this at the very end of April. It's not going to go up until August. 3 months will have gone by, and so in an interesting way, when this episode does go up, it'll I'll be able to tell whether I was correct. I haven't made any specific predictions about things that I think are going to happen, other than just the vague statement that things will get better, which could mean a lot of things. But there are plenty of ways where the world could unambiguously also get worse, right? Lots of situations could emerge, and you'd be like, there's no way you can spin that as somehow things have gotten better. So that's something we'll see. Something we'll just have to see. See, I'm not gonna get into specifics because I don't want to start talking politics in the middle of a gaming video, or like talking about like upsetting real world events that have happened. It's sometimes, things just get bad. It's just the world we live in, It's just yeah, that's just the world we live in. And for people who are able to kind of have so I live in Canada, and I'm well aware that that's, when you look at the world as a whole, a pretty privileged position to be in. What? I thought I selected that, yeah. So I don't want to make too many assumptions about anybody watching this stream, but chances are, if you're the kind of person who has had enough free time in their lives that they're able to explore video games to the point where you were able to discover a video game this obscure, then, you know, I'm not saying that your life is perfect. Obviously, everybody has their own struggles, but chances are, if you're watching this video right now, you probably do... There are probably things that you can be grateful for, you know? So, just every once in a while, it's nice to be mindful of things like that. And I think that's all I'm gonna say about that. We are getting kind of close to taking down Frieden. Another 11 or so, and we'll be done. And then we're just gonna move on. And we'll see how long this episode takes us. Genros should be easy. Perdition should be very easy. Reclusa. We tested her out last episode. Because start of battle is different from start of turn, Reclusa, who was the only other one who could have posed issues to us, I don't think is gonna actually be able to do anything. But yeah, Frieden, oh Frieden. I remember when I was ascending my specialization, I don't remember how I killed Frieden, because you can only kill him with Blight. And obviously our Blight-based party, all we do is Blight, so the fact that he has this restriction literally doesn't matter to us at all. I don't remember how I killed him. What would I have done? I don't know, maybe just use oh god. I don't like these creatures just because they waste our time with all of those attacks. Well, I don't remember what I did back then. I can tell you what I would do now if I was fighting Frieden with, for example, with my animator party as it currently stands. I would use... Nice. Halloween Frieden. I would use, obviously, get some health boosts with Clayman, and then probably just, like, direct healing, maybe? Or put, like, mending on them somehow? That's another option. Have them heal themselves, have them cast things like, I don't know, Archangel's Blessing, or I don't know what spells they do have. Are these whites gonna resurrect? Yeah, somebody's gonna resurrect. Alright. Alright. Frieden number 47. Number 48 coming up. And we are 14 minutes in, so again we seem to be on a similar pace as we were last episode. A little bit quicker than last episode because we didn't have the issues that we had with 4080. So around, we can expect maybe 15 to 16 minutes per god. With 8 of them, that means around 2 hours-ish? Maybe we can try and push things to be a little bit quicker. But around 2 hours is what we can expect for this episode, I do believe. And again, if you want to skip to the end to where we are just looking at all the awesome skins that we got and the achievements and that kind of thing, just skip to the timestamp that I've put in the video description. By the way, we are done fighting Phaidon. We are now fighting Generos. So we are 1/8 of the way done already. I know, feels slow, but listen. What the fuck is going on in this battle? Something was a bit funky. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know. Anyway, let's just keep on going after Generos. So this is gonna be episode 297. So how are we gonna approach things? 297, then 298, we can take down a Tauren with the animator. Excuse me. 299, we can spend trying one last time to get Life Mastery, but even if we don't get Life Mastery, I'm gonna proceed with the special plan I have for episode 300, which is, we're gonna, one way or another, hell or high water. And again, it might spill over into 2 episodes the way it did with the Deprived, but it's gonna start on episode 300. We are gonna, gosh darn it, we are gonna ascend, sorry, not the Deprived, we're gonna ascend the Pariah on episode 300, or at the very least begin the process of doing so. And there's a very good practical reason for doing that, and that is it will permanently raise the rate at which you find netherstones. Not that we had any big difficulty finding netherstones, we have tons, in fact, so many of them that are useless, we're just waiting for an opportunity to crush them to get some extra resources. But more of them is obviously good, right? Because you can use those resources, specifically the piety that you get for crushing netherstones, to pretty good effect by unlocking relics and upgrading relics as well. Upgrading relics beyond 100 and the other things that you can do to improve the relics. I haven't really shown you too much of that, because that's a whole aspect of the game that we haven't even touched yet. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. This many episodes, this deep into a game, and that too a game that I started not at the very beginning, but at Realm Depth 415, because that's when the final major game mechanic gets revealed, right? The false gods. I guess that's one thing that I'll talk about briefly. So, generally, the reception, actually not just generally, like overwhelmingly, people have responded positively to the start of the series, and especially my explanation for why I didn't start at the very beginning. I was torn. I was like, should I start from the beginning, or should I continue with this save file from this point? And the thing is, having played the game, I knew that... Oh jeez, that's annoying. Like, just imagine like how different the game would be if we didn't have false gods. Like, that's such a big part of the game. False gods, unlocking anointments, that's such a big part of the game. And imagine playing 100 or so hours, like, just without a key part of the game even being active. And obviously, if you go to the very start of the game, then even other critical features aren't there, like nether bosses. They don't show up until a certain point. And I think, I don't even remember, but there's... It might be that, like, the candle or, like, the Gate of the Gods isn't even unlocked until a certain point. Yeah, see, like, you have to play this game for quite a while before things are revealed. But some of the things that get revealed are such basic features that the game just wouldn't feel it wouldn't feel as fulfilling. And in many ways, and I've said this before, in many ways, those hundreds of hours that you spend, not hundreds, like 100 hours or so maybe, unlocking these key game features, you can kind of see it as a period for you to become familiar with the game's mechanics before these more complicated features get introduced. And so that's how I see it, anyway. But yeah, the all of that was to say that, you know, it's it takes a long time for the game's important features to be unlocked. And all of this is to say that there is one big feature that we haven't even really... You know what? I'm gonna briefly just give you a sneak preview. I'm gonna interrupt, and people who skip to the end will miss this, but I'll show you again later. Because so far all I've been doing is I've been going to the Rune of Prophecies, I've been awakening relics. Occasionally I've been attuning and unattuning. But there are other things that you can do at the relic. In this section, Enhance, you can just, like, your creatures gain 1% per rank of your relics stat bonuses, even when they're not attuned to a creature. Like, this is crazy. Attack damage, like healing bonus, spell damage. I often complain that the relics don't do any damage when they attack. This is one way to potentially adjust that. Yeah, there's a lot that you can do at the reliquary that we haven't even looked at yet, because to do any of that you have to spend piety, and before I spend piety on just optional increasing our strength, I want to make sure that all of the relics are unlocked, which not only give you achievements for doing them, for unlocking and upgrading them all the way to level 100, but also might be an important part in some build that you're putting together. Yeah, you know, probably some relics are more useful than others. Maybe there's some relic that's like really bad and never gets used, but you'd have to really think long and hard about that. And even things that seem useless, there might be some really crazy build that needs the thing that you thought was garbage. That's definitely happened to me a few times, because there are a few enemy traits which seem like they're just bad. Like, the Malice Harpy trait where you kill 3 people in your own team. Like, just 3 random people of your own team get killed. That seems like a crazy thing that you just never want, but there are weird synergies that you can put together where you benefit from your own creatures getting killed. In fact, our animator kind of does that, because if any of our creatures die, we try not to let them die. Early on, we were using reincarnation a lot. These days, we kind of use feign death, which accomplishes a lot of the same things, but without the actual death. But there are creatures, and there are builds that do benefit when your own people die. The Tunukruk, I think, actively kills its own party members as well, but it kills the entire team and then takes their stats. So that's a more direct benefit. But with the Malice Harpy, you'd have to have something else in place that explains or that justifies why it's good that you're killing your own team members. By the way, that sound that you just heard was the Steam pop-up for hitting 73%. Once again, I'll wait until the very end of the episode to show you how many percentage points we've gained. But we're doing okay. Where'd I go? Oh, here we go. All right. Oh, yeah, just my A key was a bit sticky. I had to press it extra hard. I should buy a new controller. Occasionally I've had issues. Not that often, but occasionally I've had issues in this series with the A key getting stuck, and if it doesn't press when you try to press. That's one problem, that's mildly annoying. You just keep pressing until it does what you want. But occasionally I've had the other problem where it sticks and it presses when I don't want it to press. And that's sometimes caused me to totally waste my turns in the middle of combat. I don't know if I've ever, like, lost a battle because of that. It's possible that it's happened once or twice, since I started recording. It definitely happened at least once before I started recording. Before my build was set in stone, so to speak, before I got the, anointments that started helping me. And before I knew more about how to have a strong, powerful party. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. All right. Let's keep going. Not too far from finishing off with Generos. And then Perdition will be next. This guy resisted, the top left guy resisted a lot of our damage. It was annoying, but ultimately didn't really help him too much. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Not ready to do Perdition yet. Gotta finish with Generos first. Alright. So we did Frightened Generos, then we'll do Perdition Reclusa. I've got to remember this, because when we're looking at the skins we've unlocked at the end, we'll have to look through a very, very long and disorganized list in order to find the new things that we unlocked. Why does that top left guy take... Or that guy that happened to be in the top left, why does he take so much less? Does he just have more defense? Is that it? That might be it. Alright, I think we're done. Oh, no, not yet. Now we will be done. Ooh, that was a very quick kill. You gotta love it. And let's immediately jump into a fight with Perdition. Again, I do not anticipate any having any issues, but we'll see. Alright. Yeah, let's just continue. Alright. There we go. We got the Genros 10 after we got one of these Perdition ones, I do believe. Listen, as long as we get all these achievements, I don't care what order the game gives them in. I know sometimes the order is a little bit funny. Like, every time we unlock a relic, it gives us the achievements for getting the relic, and then, well, what should be happening is, like, the order that we do it in the game, like, the order that we do it as the player is first, obviously, we unlock the relic first, and then we upgrade it, because you can't do it the other way around. But the game gives the achievements for upgrading the relic before it gives the achievement for unlocking the relic. I think on one or two times, on one or two occasions, it gave the achievement for like it gave the achievements in an order that corresponded to the order we actually did it in, but generally it gives the upgrade achievements before the unlock achievements. So, because sometimes the game can... There we go, finally we got a costume. Yeah, so I guess the game can sometimes... Like, it has its own internal order in which it does things, and it doesn't always match what you think it would. And I know I'm not pausing to read and acknowledge every single achievement as it pops up, just because there's going to be a lot of them, and we'll just look at all of them at the end of it all. So how are we for time? We are 34 minutes. We have already finished 2, and we are getting through our 3rd. So I would say we are making decent time. Maybe 15 minutes was a bit too optimistic of a goal, like 15 minutes per god. But again, as long as it's not much more than 2 hours by the end of it all, I'll be happy. done. Thank you. Here we go. We find a skin. Alright. Wonder if we've gotten the Perdition plush. The plush seems to be a very common drop, so it's possible we already just immediately got it and, you know, the first or the second time we fought him. So I'm not too worried. Is there like a haunted golem in their party? See, I hate it when enemies resurrect, because then it always, like, you'll continue casting spells redundantly on the empty ground, but if enemies aren't resurrecting, then the game won't do that. That's one thing that really... You see, if this Dread White resurrects, you'll see a bunch of similarly redundant spells, but he didn't resurrect, so the battle ended early. Like it should. Like it should. Alright, keep going. I'm actually pretty pumped for the Pariah Ascension episode. Mainly because we will be allowed to use avatar creatures. So I'm gonna look up a guide, and I'm gonna have... hopefully I'll have most of the things needed in order to make things work. But I'm also gonna try more to do it myself, and doing it yourself is gonna be more fun with avatar creatures allowed, avatar creatures and fusions allowed, because it just will mean you're relying less on your artifacts and just your creatures. Like your basic creatures, the way we were doing with the Deprived. Like avatars alone, I think, is gonna make for a pretty important, not just the avatars being like basically the god creatures, like Meraxus in our animator party, like Reclusa in this party. It's not just that they're powerful and they help us win these challenges, but also it just makes for a more interesting puzzle to solve. Whereas not having avatars just made the Deprived just boring to play with. That's just how I felt. It's like, yeah, technically it's a challenge, but it's just, you're dealing with it with just basic creature traits. No relics as well, that's another thing that, you know, like another crucial part of the game that makes the game fun, that just doesn't freaking exist if you're doing the Deprived. Like, yeah, you can come up with a solution that'll win, it's just won't feel that exciting. The Pariah, I think, hopefully, the kind of challenge it gives us should be a bit more on the fun side. Oh my god! Please stop. Please stop. That was annoying, but whatever. Hopefully there isn't too much of stuff like that going on. Anyway, we are still at under 40 minutes. We are... Pepsi! This is gonna be the the first wasted key of this episode, because we can't do anything about creatures that have a fucking pumpkin in their party, because their obscenely high boss level health gets turned into defense, which makes them impossible to damage. Even if we try to do something crazy like get them to attack themselves, they're not going to be able to damage themselves because they're not going to be... like, their own damage isn't going to be enough to hit their own health. There are special spells that bypass defense, but we don't have any of those just because it's such a niche thing. Just... I'll take the risk that I'll waste a few keys. That's the first key wasted today, by the way. Perdition is the one who gets that honor. What's her name? Regalis wasted one of our keys yesterday as well. With the... with the pumpkin, similarly. But unless they have that one creature... Oh yeah, and then there's another creature where the enemies are just unaffected by blight. I don't remember who had that one in their party, but that also wasted one of our keys. And then we wasted a third key by just fighting a boss that we didn't need to, who we'd already beaten. And we killed him, but it still counted as a wasted key because it technically was. Yeah, let's hope we get through the rest of these perdition battles without too much key wastage, because it wastes our time as well, right? To have to go back in and try again. Alright. Alright. We're getting emblems out of all these gods as well. We're gonna have to cash in these emblems to buy back some of the keys we've been spending. And how many... Well, we are gonna want about 1,000 keys on hand. Like, not at one time, but over the course of it, we'll be spending another 1,000-ish keys when we start ascending the different specializations. So, with each specialization, we have to beat all of the gods except for Caliban. So that's 30 fights. And there are about 30 specializations, I think. So that comes to around 30 times 30 would be around 900. But I want another extra 100 keys in the bank, just because there are going to be gods like Gonfurion, or I don't know, like 4080 maybe, where, or like what's the name, Azante, where sometimes you just get really bad luck. And inevitably, some of your keys are gonna get wasted. So that's gonna be it's gonna be another thing to watch out for. Alright. Let's keep on going. Very close to being done with Perdition. And then we will move on to Reclusa. Alright. We are we just hit 45 minutes. And we are very close to the end, so maybe the 15-minute per boss wasn't that outlandish. We also took a bit of a detour to look at the reliquary. So there's that. We had one fight that we had to redo because of the Pumpkin King. So all things considered, I'd say we're making a very decent time. Alright. It's 48, so 3 more battles to go. Two more to go. That's annoying. But whatever. And the final one against Perdition. Now Perdition is done. We immediately start on Reclusa. That's annoying, man. She's got a fucking shield bearer in her party, which kept her alive. Yeah, look at this fucking garbage. And wasted so much of our time. Okay. That's another enemy that I hope never shows up again. I mean, jeez. That was stupid. That was really stupid. But yeah, as long as she doesn't have that one creature in her party, we should be fine. We're at 48 minutes. I think we're doing okay. Oh, okay. 2 different skins. Gotta love it. Gotta love it whenever you get 2 special drops in the same instance of loot. And let's just keep going. I wonder if the probability to get things like, you know, decorations and costumes is affected by the bonus from the deprived perk. My suspicion is probably not. Yay, we get the plush. My suspicion is if it says it's for skins, then it's probably just skins only. And decorations and costumes don't seem like they are that rare. Even when fighting the gods, where costumes are much less rare to find than they are with the, you know, random enemies. Even with those, the plushes and the god costume, like, you know, the costume for the player, think is like they're way more common, even than the relatively more common skins. So I guess you wouldn't really need anything boosting your chance of finding those, just because you'd be finding them all over the place anyway. Alright. We are 15 minutes into the episode. And we are a good amount of the way through taking down Reclusa. And that will put us at the halfway point. And then we will just continue closing out these gods one by one. Yeah, you just gotta do it. All right. All right. As you can probably tell, I'm once again starting to struggle to commentate over all this, because as long as nothing out of the ordinary happens, then there's really not much to say. And it's a good thing when nothing out of the ordinary happens, because usually when things when there's a surprise of some kind, it's generally not a good one. With the possible exception of those very rare cases where I think the bosses are giving themselves extra healing, which counts against them due to blight, and then they die in like, you know, just 2 hits instead of, you know, 4 or 5 like they normally do. That's the only good surprise. Usually the surprise is they have a really annoying enemy in their party that either forces us to forfeit or just makes the battle a lot longer than what it needs to be. Alright, 53 minutes. We're probably not going to finish this in under 2 hours. That's a pipe dream. But around 2 hours is still fine, especially if you consider the fact that some of the god fights that we've had, like the one against Zante, the one against Gonfurion, just doing a single god took us more than 2.5 hours. So the fact that we're doing 8 of them in a video and then complaining that it might be more than 2 hours, that's a pretty good indication of just how big the gulf is in, if not difficulty, then at least, you know, the time and annoyance factor in fighting them like this and fighting them the way we had to fight, you know, Gonfurion. God, man, Gonfurion was so annoying. Like, we had to chip his health down. Ugh, that was such a hideous fight. Ugh, hated it. Hated it. All right. I'm gonna have a fun time looking through the skins we've gotten at the end of it all. That is really one of my favorite things in this game. Like, I've mentioned this, like, no, that is my favorite thing in this game. The skins are my favorite thing in this game. The cards are my second favorite. I mean, other than the, the obvious things like, oh, your combat and like the obvious things that make a game enjoyable. I'm talking about like the little things. The skins are my favorite thing. The cards are my second favorite. I already talked last episode about how one of the things I loved about Diablo 2 was the item sets, and so that was one of the things that disappointed me about Diablo 4 was the lack of item sets. But that's one of the things I loved about the cards in this game, is that in addition to just being things to collect, like each race is kind of its own set. And then you even get bonuses for completing that set. Like you get a partial bonus and then you complete the full set and then you get the full set bonus. Yeah, so cards are my second favorite thing. My third favorite thing is probably the like the little jokes and the writing, especially with Torin. Like even with like I mentioned Tartareth and Mortem as other other characters that I find pretty amusing, but I'm sure there are others that I'm even forgetting. The Treasure Golem 2.0 fight. Like, it's been some time now since that fight happened. I've had time to reflect. I still think that's my favorite encounter in the entire game. I don't think the game's going to be able to top that. And to be honest, I'd be okay with that, just because that's... Like, it was so good. It was so good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's an episode in the series. The title of the episode is just Treasure Golem 2.0. And we even get that encounter pretty early on in the episode. So, we get the encounter pretty early on in the episode. So, I highly recommend checking it out because it really is very, very funny. The game has a wonderful sense of humor. See, this Joker is resurrecting. Oh god. Are you serious right now? Like, are you fucking serious right now, dude? Are you fuck? Are you serious, man? How many times did he fucking resurrect? Like, dude, that was egregious. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I have a Dread White in my party. Just so that occasionally enemies can feel that same annoyance that I just felt in that battle. Although, as we've gone on, the Dread White rarely gets killed anymore. Alright, let's just keep going. How long have we been going? 59 minutes. And we are level 42 here. So we will finish this at not much more than 2 hours, which is good. Which is very good. For a moment, I got worried. I thought that was the pumpkin king in their party, but no, that was just the headless white with the pumpkin for a head. Ooh, one of these leeches... like, these leeches are also dangerous because one of these leeches can make his team essentially immune to blight as well. Actually, it might be a two-part thing. Because I think the trait is if everybody in your team has leeching, then you become immune to blight. But then you need a second leech to actually give you leeching. Or you need to cast it somehow. But yeah, if enemies can make that synergy work for themselves, then we're fucked. Then there's nothing this party can do to actually damage them. Because we've got all our eggs, like, very firmly in one basket. And... oh no. Oh, please, no. Fuck off, dude. Just die. Oh, God, fuck off. There we go. There we go. That was annoying, but you know what? We got through it. And now we're almost through with Reclusa. We're almost through with this whole page, actually. There are a couple that we still have to kill if we're talking about ascending this specialization. Because we are technically playing as the Shadow Bringer right now. So we haven't fought Aeolian, we haven't fought Gonfurion, haven't fought Lister, but this isn't an episode about ascending the Shadowbringer. This is an episode about getting all of these gods done. Like, let's look at it in a positive way. When the time does come to ascend the to ascend the Shadowbringer, there will be very little for us to do. The downside is that a lot of what there will be left to do will be very annoying stuff, like how to take down Gonfurion. That'll be a whole thing. Anyway, let's go after Tartarith. Tartarith's whole deal is that you can't manually cast spells. That's okay. We'll just unmanually cast them instead. Oh, what? Hang on a second. That's not right. Enemies can't manually attack or cast spells. So why were we allowed to manually do that? Because booze spells. I don't know why I was struggling so hard to say the word booze. Booze spells are normally not cast manually. We have a... ooh, I love that plush. We have a special anointment that allows us to cast them manually. Maybe the game just doesn't change their flag if you're able to cast them manually due to an exception. It just has them listed as not manual spells. Or hang on. Maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe what actually happened was we hadn't killed Tartarith. Or, oh no, we had killed Tartarith, but some enemy was left alive, some enemy other than Tartarith. So what we need to do is we need to wait for a situation where we don't kill Tartarith and then have to take a second turn. Or a first turn, because this is just start of battle stuff. Now, yeah, okay, yeah, I had a feeling. So we must have just killed Tartarith. That explains it. That makes much more sense. When you're going on autopilot, it can be hard to focus on minor details like which enemy's alive, which one is dead. But yeah, that does make sense. Tartareth, then Tenebris, then Temeramergo, then Vertrag. Alright, we are at 1 hour and 5 minutes. Seems like a good pace. Alright. Wait. Did that say Halloween Tauren? Hang on a second. I think we got the wrong skin. I'm pretty sure that said Halloween Tauren. Yeah. We got this skin. I mean, it's an awesome looking skin, but I think it bugged out a little bit. Ah, man. I shouldn't have looked at it. It would have been... well, I mean, we'll look at it again, and people who haven't seen it will get to enjoy it for the first time next episode, because I'm not going to show it at the end of this episode, because I don't want to ruin the surprise. I shouldn't have looked at it. It would have been so awesome to look at it at the end of the Tauren video. Would have been a great reward for our final victory against the final god. You know what? It's okay if I ruin it for myself a little bit. It's fine. We will just like, there will be other Tauren skins to find, and because Tauren is just a fucking like giant rock head, I feel like any of his skins are gonna be like interesting, just because most of the other gods are just, they're either animal in nature or they're vaguely humanoid shaped, so their skins are you know, not that different from the kinds of costumes that either a person would wear or that you'd put on an animal. Like, you know, Generos, for example, like, he's like a wild boar kind of thing. So you can imagine the kinds of things that you might do if you were making a costume for a wild boar. But Tartareth is just like a... Sorry, not Tartareth. Tauren is just like a fucking Easter Island head. And imagining costumes for just a giant head. That seems like it could... a giant stone head, no less. I think that's just a... So in addition from Tauren being the funniest, and, you know, my favorite god, and having a special relationship with him, the other advantage to fighting him last is possibly the best god skins are gonna be the Tauren skins, or the most interesting ones, the most different ones. So it's another reason why I'm happy I am choosing to keep him until the end. Alright, let's keep going. Just keep going. Nice. 3 more after this. We are at 1 hour 10 minutes. taking pretty good time. Alright. I've gone a bit silent just because, you know, there's not much really to say. Not really that much to say. Oop. Oh, oh! Start of battle stuff didn't happen for some reason. Luckily, we have other ways of casting spells automatically. Oh. Yeah, we can't cast things while Torin is still alive. Sorry, Tartareth. Got Torin on my mind now. Nice job. This time we did kill Torin, so this time we are able to get some value out of our manual spells. Alright. Alright. You know what? All this time I've been manually casting spells when I've been given the opportunity, but I could just defend, because our spells are going to go off automatically anyway. There's no point. I'll show you the next time we have a chance to cast. Which itself seems to be a bit of a rarity, because usually the entire enemy team just dies before that ever happens. Alright, 38. This one we might have to... Nope. I was gonna say this one we might have to take another turn, but nope. 39. Uh, 40. Uh-oh. That's a bunch of nonsense. Please stop. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Okay. That could have been really annoying, but I'm glad we got him killed when we did. Alright. Yeah, I'll show you the next time we get a turn that it is just as feasible for us to defend as it is to manually cast our spells, just because of the way we've put our party together. It's again, a testament to how well we have built things. Alright. We're getting close to the end of Tartareth. Tenebris, I think, is going to be the next one. Which should be similarly easy. Alright, so well, I mean, this time we had to defend anyway, just because Tartareth was still alive. But as you can see, we are able to get additional automatic spells cast by just defending. Would we want to always defend? Well, not necessarily. Sometimes we might want to cast things like Contagion or Blank Slate, or even Entangling Roots, depending on what the situation is and what action is called for. But if all we want to do is cast more Fermented Hops and do more damage, then we'd want to just, you know, defending is the easiest and laziest way. That's the more important thing. It's the thing that involves the least effort, as opposed to going into your spell list and choosing the spell, even if it is the spell at the top, so you don't actually have to navigate to it. But still, that does take a bit more effort. You have to click once more, right? And that's just too much work, you know. Oh no, what are you doing? Excuse me? Oh. I guess not all of our creatures are able to do that. Some of them, when they defend, they just defend and nothing else happens. But it's okay. We are gonna finish the fifth one. And we are under an hour and 20 minutes. We're at 80 minutes. So we are going at around 16 minutes per... or just over 16 minutes per... oh, excuse me? Oh, they're muted. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. This is no good. This is no good. This is no good. This is no good, this is no good. This means Tenebris is gonna set us back. I forgot that you become immune to damage when you are invisible. So it's gonna be similar to Siralim, because we're gonna have to do this. And that's gonna waste some of our time. That's unfortunate. That is quite unfortunate. We're going... things were going so well. Things were going so well. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, it's just one that we gotta worry about. It's just one god that has a thing that we've got to dispel. By the way, we had another percentage point. So we are at we are at 74%. Are we gonna hit another percentage point? Probably not, because we don't have that many left to do. Tenebrous. Well, we've got Tamarmergo and Vertrag. Maybe when we do Tauren next episode. At least the member of our party with the Dispel is reliably going first. Because if that doesn't happen, then that throws everything off. Alright. Yeah, see, like this time when it didn't happen in the correct order. No idea what even happened in this battle, but it was dumb. It wasted our time, and we're very indignant about it. All right. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, at least you're dead now. Because that guy just permanently had invisibility. But once we killed Tenebrous, he lost the thing that made him immune to damage while he was invisible. But again, wasted a bit more of our time in the process. Again, things are happening in the wrong order. Which is, again... Are you fucking serious right now, dude? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh god. Oh, greater dispel, please. I have no... That's fucking annoying, man. Whatever trait it is that causes that, it just makes things really, really annoying. Anyway, let's just... Let's just continue. Alright? Let's just keep... Oh my god. What? Why does this happen? Why do people just sometimes spontaneously not go in the correct order? It's really annoying. Anyway, we've finally gotten the plush. That's one big thing that we're looking to collect from all of these gods. In fact, at the end of this process, if there are any gods for which we have not gotten the plush, we're gonna have to go back and fight them until they... Man... Are you... Are you... Fuck off, dude. Excuse me? Excuse me? Did I cast the wrong spell, or... Like, it seemed like I tried to dispel and nothing happened. Maybe I cast the wrong spell. Who frickin' knows? Anyway, this... Man, what is going on? Why isn't my creature with the actual speed bonus going first? This is... Hang on a second. I'm gonna have to hang on a second. Hang on a second. Field items. I'm gonna lower your speed. I'm gonna lower your speed. Like, now, I mean, the one with the highest speed should always go first. But maybe there's a, it's more probabilistic. And if their speeds are close, even if one is technically higher, maybe sometimes the one with the slightly lower speed can sometimes go first. And maybe that's what's happening. Well, now that I've increased the... Man, what? Oh, are you serious, man? Why? That's so dumb. That's so dumb. That's the correct... Oh no, what is this now? Oh god, what is... Fuck off, dude. You know what, it's okay. It's okay. There's gonna be at least one that has some annoying gimmick that would mildly inconvenience us. Let's not even worry about... Oh, man. Oh, God. It's okay. It's okay. This will soon enough be over. All the time I thought I was saving. All the time. You see, why can't this happen in every battle? Like, what's going on? What's causing this variation? I find it very upsetting. What? Man, what? The fucking vortex is stealing our Fuck off, dude. Piece of garbage trash. Piece of fucking garbage. Oh yeah, there. I don't like this boss. Combination of an annoying trait. I mean, it's a fine trait to have. It's just annoying when you're in a rush. And when your own team isn't cooperating with you. Man. Now, I don't want to give Dispel to like more than one of them because that'll slow everything down because then everybody's going to be casting Dispel. So, you know what, let's just so why are you going first? Because this person has more than 3 times the speed that you have. It's more than 7 times the speed that you have. I don't even know. Now you're going. Whatever. I'm over it. I'm already over it. That's what should... Maybe start of battle doesn't operate... Like, start of battle stuff doesn't operate based on speed. Like, it should, though. It shouldn't just be random. Like, if multiple creatures are trying to do the same type of start of battle thing, in this case... In this case, trying to do a... Oh my god, what do you... Fuck off, dude. In this case, if they're trying to cast a... Excuse me, man, what happened? Why didn't Greater Dispel work? This is fucking unreadable. Where is the part where I try to cast Greater Dispel and then nothing happens? Oh, fuck off. Just fuck off, dude. Yeah. You're just gonna have to accept that sometimes things will happen in this game and you'll just have no way of figuring out how or why that thing just happened. There we go. Maybe it's like a top of the timeline thing. That it... Actually, no, that's not true, because when enemies who are agile are at the top of the timeline, that they still go ahead of our creatures based on their speed. It shouldn't... I don't know, man. Something just feels like it's not working the way you would logically think it would work. Anyway, let's just whatever, let's just get through it. We'll be fine. It's just that this is going to be an annoyingly slow process. And then we'll have 2 more to do after this. Ugh. That's annoying. Not even at 40 yet with Tenebrous. Thank you. And you even killed them all before you had to do anything else. That's good. Thank you. Okay, let's just keep going. We are... yeah, we're definitely way behind schedule thanks to this, this one. Yeah, the party movement order just... Maybe I'm misunderstanding something very basic, but the game does, when it's describing stats, it does say that the order in which creatures go is affected by speed. I'm not making this up. If we go to game information, creatures, stats. Speed determines the creature's starting location on the timeline. Clearly, there's something about that that I'm not understanding. Clearly, at some point, there's been a failure to communicate. Oh no. Are you serious? Oh, what the fuck, dude? Because they're going to be immune to damage, so I'll just do this. There we go. Whatever, dude. Yeah, all the annoying stuff is happening in this one fight. It does feel like most of the time you're going first. Or like a disproportionate amount of the time. So maybe it is just a probabilistic thing that high speed just raises the chance that you'll go first, but it's not a guarantee. Man, I don't know. Man, I don't know. Let's just finish this, and then for the remaining two fights, we won't have to worry about it. Right, almost done. There we go. That one went the way it needed to. And now there's just 3. Yeah, we're bound to get some insubordination in the ranks eventually. Oh god. There we go. Couple more wins left, then we can unequip, dispel, and just go about our merry way. Oh no. Alright. Final one. There we go. At least for the final one, you pulled through. And you even killed everyone without us going into a second turn. Alright. Equip that, and now going to kill Tumeramergo. As long as we're not manually casting anything, we should be fine. I mean, if we've killed him, then we don't really mind anymore. After an enemy manually casts a spell, your creatures cast that spell as well. And we're not really attacking, so that doesn't really matter as much. Alright. Despite all of this, we're still making pretty good time. Oh, we got a skin. The Halloween one, I think. I clicked through that pretty quickly, but again, we're gonna look through all of the skins at the end of this episode. What? And how long have we been going? An hour, 41 minutes. Oh, there's the plush. I mean, these plushes all look really nice. Man, our trophy room is gonna be amazing. I cannot wait to build that. But that one, that's gonna have to wait. Is gonna have to wait. All right. Number 8. All right. We're going through, and I'm once again a bit silent because I have once again run out of things to say. This fight seems to be well and truly under control, though. Nothing out of the ordinary happening. And Vertrag, really, he doesn't do anything at all. It's just that if the fight lasts too long, then you die and you can't come back. Because when, like, Vertrag's trait says, your creatures die of old age. I have never actually had that happen when fighting him. And so I don't know this for a fact, but I would assume that if they're killing you as the boss's gimmick just for time passing, and, you know, the whole thing is you've got to kill him quickly, I would assume that you can't resurrect, and so things like bleed out or rebirth aren't gonna actually help you come back to life. It's possible that the game lets you resurrect, but that would be a not very fun way of implementing that challenge. Be too easy. It would be a non-challenge. Granted, we've turned a lot of these fights into non-challenges by just completely bypassing the boss's property and just killing them with percentage damage. But you know what? That isn't to say that we aren't going to come back later on in the game and fight them properly with different builds, using the build's own tools and seeing how well we can do. But that'll be after we've gotten all of the achievements, because when we're doing that, I want it to be purely for the fun of the fight and, you know, potentially the thrill of finding, you know, any remaining skins, stuff like that. I don't want to have to do it for the sake of killing them 40 times to get the achievements. For the occasional fight, I don't mind if it's a long, drawn-out affair against an awkward to deal with boss trait that might occasionally even kill us and, you know, not let us win the battle. But when we're, you know, grinding for achievements, you kind of do want to cheese it if at all you have the opportunity to. Right, we're approaching the halfway point for Tamara Murgo. Alright, and let's do you. Isn't there a... Hang on, I'm gonna look up Siralim traits for just a moment. You know, I'll look it up while we're loading and while we're waiting for stuff to happen. Ooh, you're still alive. Let's just do this. Yeah. Gonna go to the trait list. Gonna make sure I open it in Chrome. Just so there aren't any issues. Chrome on my phone, that is. Okay. If all the creatures in your party are phase warriors, your party is immune to indirect damage. That is the master of phase warriors. Master of Uralos. If all of your creatures are Uralos, a 50% chance to avoid indirect damage. Is this the guy who's responsible for that weird staggered pattern? Oh, after your creature... Oh, okay. So it keeps healing them, but for small amounts, and then each time they heal they take damage, and then eventually they are unable to take any more damage. I see. That's why that's so annoying. 35% less indirect damage. That's consecrated ground. And then there's just like generic damage reduction, like from Shimmer, things like that. Shadow Bulwark, alright. 90% less indirect damage. Yeah, let's keep going. I'll have to see which spells... No, hang on a second. All we need is one of our creatures to survive. So we could give Shadow Bulwark to anybody, really. And as long as we have our... As long as well, no, Reclusa will be alive because we have Bleed Out. Hard to say. Like another way, like weirdly enough, watching this guy in action, the shield bearer, gives me an idea for how to avoid damage. If you can make a build so that you're doing self-damage, but tiny amounts of self-damage, so that before the enemies even get a chance to act, you've already done, like, no, because it would reset when their turn starts, right? That wouldn't work. You'd have to cause the enemy to inflict upon you tiny amounts of damage before any big thing that they're doing that might cause damage. That'd be a very convoluted way of just avoiding a bit of damage. It is a possibility. Alright. How are we for this? We're nearly 40. How are we for time? We are an hour 51. Okay. Yeah, it'll be around the same amount of time as last episode. Maybe a little bit shorter. Okay, so Spasm, Nirvana. Shadow Bulwark. You do have Shadow Bulwark. Endurance Aura. That's annoying. That's fucking annoying. What the fuck is this, dude? Oh my god. Can we time walk this guy? There we go. There we go. That's another small step along the way. Gotta keep going. Does repelling save you from indirect damage? I don't think it does. Because I do want to get one kill against Tauren before I end this episode using this class. Because that'll mean one, it'll reduce the number of kills I need to get against Tauren next time by one. And it'll also give me the star for Tauren with this character. So it'll save me one key overall. I think if I wanted to kill Tauren, I would need... No, I have Bleed Out. It should work as long as one person can cast. As long as one person can cast something, it should work. Should work. The only question is Shadow Bulwark gonna be enough? It should be enough. This, however, is going to be a bit of a pain. Oh, that's dumb. Oh no. That was an unexpected bit of excitement. Want to make sure that we are at the highest level. Alright, and this is going to be the last win against Maramurgo. I think I'm going to take one shot at Torin before I start going for Vertrag. Oh, they're resurrecting, aren't they? Yep. Bunch of garbage. But now they're dead. And let's do one fight against Torin. Just... hopefully this works. Never mind, it's just gonna... It's just gonna be fine without even... Okay. So, now that that's done, we got our Tauren star, yay, and now we'll have one less kill against Tauren to do in the next episode. We could just get 40 kills against Tauren right now, but like I said, I wanna save him and kill him. I wanna make a whole occasion out of it. I want it to be I want it to be fun. And it'll also be the final god that we are killing, so you know, it wouldn't be right, it wouldn't feel right to just not treat it with the respect that the situation calls for. Alright, how are we for time? We are still under 2 hours. And we're now on this final boss. Well, final for the episode anyway. Next episode will be the true final boss in terms of these god fights. At least until we are ready to start ascending our different specializations. Which is going to be the next main long-term project that we'll start doing, or that we'll start preparing for post episode 300. Oh, this guy again. This guy again. Oh no, I went after Tauren again by accident. This time we might just die. Yep, this time we deserve that. Yeah, we wasted a key. And so we'll get even with Tauren for that next episode. For now, though, let's continue fighting the actual one that we are meant to fight. So I guess we just got really lucky the first time we fought Tauren. Because the second time around, he did, even with the bleed out, even with the resurrection, he kicked our ass. We did get some Fermented Hops cast early on, but he seems to have like higher defense, or he's not taking as much damage from it as normal. And maybe one of his traits is that he takes less indirect damage, I don't know. Because the game isn't very forthcoming about what exactly his property means. And people have worked out that one thing he's doing, obviously, is he's doing a huge amount of indirect damage to your team at the start of their turns. But maybe he's got other things going on as well. Like, I don't know, like some defensive bonus on top of all of that. Alright, let's just keep going. Very close to the end of the episode now. Well, maybe not very close, but we're in the final, fighting the final god, and we've already killed him a decent amount of times. Got 25 more kills to get. So, yeah, it's not going to be much longer now. I've been thinking, though. So, no. I was gonna say, we could use the Fermented Hops party as a party to clear regular realms. Because even if we run into leeches, they would need to have 2 different leeches in their party to make themselves immune to blight. One to give them all leeching, obviously, but the other one to make them immune to blight based on that leeching. But the reason why I'm saying that that's not exactly true is because there are other ways for the enemies to get leeching. For instance, they could simply have it as a realm property, if you're playing on high instability. And in addition to having leeches in their party, they could also be fused with leeches, right? So I feel like this would be a pretty, maybe not super common, but a more common issue than we would like if we were running around with this party. We would absolutely need a secondary way of doing damage, not just blight. And let's not accidentally go after Tauren again, because we've learned our lesson the first time. We did get a win, which is the only thing I wanted. But you know what? It's fine. It's okay. Yeah, next episode, I am gonna have to go into a realm, at least one realm. Ooh, 2 skins, hell yeah. I'm gonna have to go into at least one realm for the purpose of buying keys, because we're not gonna have enough keys to fully take out Tauren. We have enough keys for everyone other than Tauren, but we're gonna have to go into a couple realms to to get that sorted out. All right. We're getting through. We're more than halfway through fighting Bertrag, and then we can revel in all the wonderful stuff we got. Mainly the skins. I'm really curious to see what these skins are. Tartareth, Tenebris, Temeramergo, Vertrag. And on the first page, Frieden, Generos, Reclusa, Perdition. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm just reminding myself which gods we're gonna have to be on the lookout for in terms of the new skins that we got. Alright. Alright. Getting there, getting there. And once again, I'm there's a lack of things to say, so I've gone a bit silent. I think at this point, like, we're just so close to finishing that I'm ready for it to be done. That's also a part of it. But yeah, pretty soon we will be done. And then, well, I mean, next episode we'll truly be done, but this is, you know, the tedious stuff that we needed to do. All of the fermented hop god kills. This is the best way to do them as well, I think. Like, we couldn't have a separate episode for each of these. Granted, some of the earlier fights we've had have kind of turned into fights like this. Like the fight against Vulcanar was one of them. The fight against Venedon was one of them. But that's only because I had identified those gods as potentially problematic. I had already decided to do a full episode for them. But then it turned out that they were just very easy to deal with. Whereas these guys, I had gone through the list and I'm like, there's no reason why any of these should give the Fermented Hops party any trouble at all. Like Vulcanar, right? We had no idea if he was gonna get his 5 resurrections, if the game was just gonna decide that we're not allowed to stop him from resurrecting. Because had that happened, then that episode would have been at least 2 to 3 times as long. Because having enemies resurrect even once slows things down tremendously. Having them resurrect 5 times, like each individual battle would have been more than double however long it was. Whereas these guys, even if some nonsense happens, like, oh, you know, occasionally we've got a dispel them. Occasionally our creatures are going in the wrong order. It adds time, but not that much time. Like 5 resurrections would have been rough to deal with. Why did I think Venedon would be... Ah, okay, because I was like, maybe he's gonna have lots of people attacking and casting at the start of battle. And we'll have no other way to deal with that. And maybe once or twice that might have happened. But overall, he was just very easy to bring down. Alright. We're almost there. Just 5 more wins to go. And then... Excuse me? That was unnecessarily stressful. Alright, almost. 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 49, and then 50 will be the final one. And then we will be ready to end this episode. Alright, final win against Vertrag coming up. We've been going 2 hours, 13 minutes. And there we go. The final win against Vertrag has given us our final win for the episode. Let's reflect on what we got. Let's first look at the achievements. So let's start from the beginning, which is Frieden. Yeah, because Erebus was the last one, last episode. We started off killing Frieden. Then we moved on to Generos. Then we moved on to Perdition. Then we moved on to Reclusa. Then we moved on to Tartareth. Then we did Tenebris. Then we did Tamara Murgo. Then we had one fight against Torin just to get the star. I was like, we might as well, and it'll reduce the number of fights we have to do against him by 1 next episode. Then we did Vertrag, and that was the end. In terms of gods that were able to either kill us or force us to forfeit, it happened a couple of times. I don't remember who did what, just because all of the fights felt the same. But on one occasion we had a Pumpkin King, and so we just couldn't do damage, we went away. On another occasion they were able to have that leech synergy where if they have leeching, then they're immune to blight. So we couldn't do any damage. That one went away. Like we had to go away, like forfeit. And then we got killed once by Torin because we fought him a second time by accident. We got lucky beating him the first time, should have left him alone after that, but accidentally I clicked on him again. And that was that in terms of achievements. In terms of skins, now, this is an interesting thing because I think the game either bugged out or this skin was misclassified while fighting. While fighting Tartaret, we were given a Tauren skill, I assume by accident. And I'm gonna try to not show it. It'll be hard, but I'll find a way. Halloween Tauren, so it'll be easy to spot. Yeah, we got given that skin by accident, so it ruined the surprise for me a little bit because it was a great skin, and it would have been nice to discover it next episode, which is when we will actually be fighting Tauren. Anyway, let's look at the skins we actually did earn. Abyssal for Frieden, very cool looking. Just, I think literally just water for his lower half. Cool. And these Christmas skins, Christmas Generals we already saw. Christmas Perdition with candy canes. Christmas Vertrag is just a Christmas tree, that's amazing. Divine Guardian Perdition is a... I mean, I like the white robe. It's hard to see because it's almost the same shade as the very dark gray background, but if you look into his robe you can kind of see his single leg, but it's a black silhouette. This we already saw. Alexander, no, we already saw that. Anelta, we already saw that as well. Halloween... Oh, I accidentally showed it. I was like, Halloween... I'm gonna skip Halloween Tauren. Anyway, now that I know where it is, I'm gonna know how to skip it. Okay. What luck though, I landed exactly on it. Just avert your eyes, you know. If you're really curious to see what the skin is, you can pause at that split second. I won't blame you. I'm not gonna edit it out because that's gonna be too much work on a day where I've already spent a couple hours grinding. Anyway, let's go through this. We saw Orm already. Azrael, Caliban, Halloween Frieden. He just has a Groucho Marx disguise. One of those novelty hat, nose, sunglasses. That's what you call a low effort Halloween costume. Hang on. So his watery lower half is just how he looks normally. What makes Abyssal different is the fact that, okay, he's got like a Cthulhu-esque head and he's carrying a trident. That makes sense. Halloween Generals we've already seen. Awesome skin. Halloween Perdition with twin bloody blades. Halloween Reclusa is a fly, I think? Some sort of insect. Halloween Regalis, that's another one of my favorites. This spider goddess dressed up as a sexy nurse. Halloween Tumeramergo is a giant floating eyeball. That is a little bit horrifying, but I love it. Alright, so Halloween Tenebris is the Grim Reaper. Halloween Vertrag, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. A ninja? Yeah, a ninja, because I see a katana and some shurikens, like throwing stars. Not sure what the sparkles are supposed to be. I guess this is just his default kind of thing. We've seen that. And now we're just looking at other skins. Imprisoned. This is a Temeramergo skin. He's just encased in amber, I guess. That's very... This guy has some other... Like, let's take a look at what Temeramergo looks like normally. And then we'll get a sense for why his skins are so interesting. Because he just looks like this. How do you come up with alternate costumes for something that looks like this? So similar to Torin, who's just like a giant angry stone head, I think it's gonna be interesting to see what the game does to make this look a little bit different. Anyway, let's go back to the skins. So that was there. Looked at that. I think we've already seen this. One with a void for Tenebris. Very cool. Not sure what that glowing thing is inside the robe, but it's very unsettling. Spider form for Regalis. And now the springtime skins that we unlocked. Springtime Temeramergo is hey, that's cool. A little unsettling again with the tendrils growing around it, but he's just a and like the eyeball in the middle of it, but he's just a rose. He's just a rose. Summer Frieden he's a surfer. That's amazing. He's got a surfboard. Amazing. Summer Reclusa is I feel like that's the logo for something. I think I've seen a logo very much like this, you know, the sun, but then it breaks up into lines and it's got that color gradient. That's very familiar. Like a I don't know, that's definitely something that I've seen. And also the I think there's like a palm tree. Like what's that green stuff to the right? I think that's foliage, like a palm tree. And Reclusa is just wearing like island attire, I think. Holiday attire, something like that. And I think the rest of them we've already seen. Okay. That was another look through the skins that we've unlocked. And now, what we're gonna do is, before we end the episode, I'm gonna change specializations. I'm also gonna... Oof, oh, hang on a second. How many are there in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 38, 40. There are 40 specializations, not 30. So we're gonna need, at a minimum, 1,200. Well, some of them we've already done, like this, and this, and pretty soon this. We're gonna need a hell of a lot more keys than what I thought. So, that's gonna be something to think about. Anyway, let's switch to the animator. It has given us our old party, which is wonderful, but we are gonna have to give ourselves back our old spells, which sadly it gets rid of them every time. There we go. And how many keys? Ooh, keys do we have? 22 is not going to be enough. So we are gonna have to go to one of our realms next episode. Oh. if we go to Regalis, then we can buy around 20 keys. And I kind of just want to go to Regalis. We'll see that. Extra rates. We have a way of dealing with this now. So I'll leave it at 401. And we'll do one realm. And then we'll come back. And then we'll have to fight Tauren. And we'll have to get the job done. Actually, hang on a second. Can we just go in and fight him like this? Or is he gonna murder us? Let's check this once. Let's check this once. Because we have some damage reduction. But is that enough? Alright. We might be fine. Let's just try this once. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I should have done an Archangel's Blessing. I'm now regretting my actions deeply. Yeah, we're fine though. Overall, I think we're gonna be fine. Yeah, I think we have enough damage reduction that we're okay. And I'm pretty sure the damage that he does doesn't scale with his level. It scales based on our stats. Okay. That's another win against this guy. Wait, why do we get 2 achievements? Hang on a second. Oh, 7 times and level 15. Okay, we beat him at level 15. That explains it. Alright. So, I'm feeling pretty confident about next episode, but we are going to have to get some extra keys, and we'll do that probably in the Arachnid Nest. But anyway, is there anything else to show? I don't think so. I don't think so. I've shown you the... I haven't shown you the plushies, but they're all in the decoration section. And they're all in this giant list that also includes all the creatures. So, we will look at them post having beaten all of the gods, and probably after we're done with the pariah as well. After like in episode 301, I think we will set up our like trophy cabinet. I've been calling it. I'll just put it in the middle over here, just showing all the gods that we've killed. Yeah, that's a plan for several episodes into the future. For now, though, what I want to do next episode is I want to take out Tauren. Or should I... You know what? Let me just turn next episode into a proper realm clearing episode. Actually, I'm kind of in the mood to just get these guys done with. So next episode we will do one realm to collect some keys. Then we will go and we will fight Tauren. And then we will be done with the god achievements at the Gate of the Gods. Right. That is the plan. I'm sticking to it. That is the final plan. And with that, I think it is time to draw this episode to a close. Another repetitive episode, but again, I'm going to put in the video description which time you can skip to if you want to just go to to the end and just see our wrap up. We're just looking at the achievements we got and the skins that we found. So you don't have to, watch the entire episode if you don't need to. Although if you're listening to this, you obviously already know that. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that again. And yeah, I hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you are, even if you didn't watch the whole episode, I hope you're enjoying the sense of progress that we are making. We are now, oh, by the way, we got 2 more percentage points. We are now at 74%. So that is 4% of the game's achievements that we've gotten just in these last 2 episodes, which is huge. But yeah, next episode we're going to be doing the final god. But yes, that is going to be all for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you'll join me for the next episode as well. And until then, take care.